If there's one artist known for having the most beef in the music industry, it's NBA YoungBoy. Since the start of his career, he's had issues with almost every major street rapper in the game. Let's take a look at some of the people he's had problems with, starting with G Money and Fredo Bang. YoungBoy grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, one of the most dangerous cities in the US. And since day one, he's been at odds with other rappers from his hometown, especially G Money and Fredo Bang. As a kid, YoungBoy was close friends with G Money's brother, Lil Herc, and looked up to G as a mentor. But things went bad between them after G Money reportedly slept with Boy's sister, which sparked major tension.
Really, he mad about his sister too, though.
About his sister?
Yeah, I had f***ed her a long time ago.
G Money was part of a gang and music group called TBG, which stands for Top Boy Gorillas. He brought YoungBoy into TBG early in his career, but when the label didn't give YoungBoy the respect he felt he deserved, he left and started his own, Crew NBA. Fredo Bang is also connected to TBG, which is where his issues with YoungBoy started. As YoungBoy's fame grew, he began dissing his old TBG affiliates for not supporting him. G Money and the rest of TBG fired back, and the beef quickly turned into back-and-forth disses in music and online.
Talking about you don't like this and that. You ain't no for you to like, you hear me? You know what I'm saying? You just copping off a so I pull up in that wagon, you go take a picture by a G-Wagon. Boy, you really my son, stop watching me.
Diss track industry aimed at YoungBoy. A few weeks later, he was shot and killed outside of a recording studio in Baton Rouge.
Rouge police are looking into a deadly shooting that claimed the life of a local rapper. Police say someone shot and killed 22-year-old Garrett Burton on Dallas Street around 1:20 last night.
Fredo Bang was in jail during the early stages of the beef, so he missed the first wave of drama. But once he got out, things got serious. Check out our video on the deadly war in Baton Rouge for more details. Fredo stuck with TBG and has become one of the most popular rappers from Baton Rouge, second only to YoungBoy. Because of their past and gang ties, the tension between them never really died down. They've kept taking shots at each other, especially on social media. One of their biggest recent clashes happened in August 2020, when they were both planning to drop projects on the same day. YoungBoy announced his album Top would drop on September 11th. Fredo, who had the same release date, joked online saying, "Guess me and my son dropping on the same day?" with laughing emojis. YoungBoy didn't find it funny he snapped on Instagram, calling Fredo a cow and even dissing his mom and dead homie. He also said Fredo wasn't really about that life and could never compete with
You a bum, you go dig all three of your brothers up with your scary ass. You a stop running from me. I ain't in no competition with you. Stop writing me. You a
Fredo responded, but was much calmer. He told his fans to go help out YoungBoy because he's clearly pretty angry.
Somebody go help little brother out, bro. He angry, dog. He angry.
Fredo clapped back by dissing some of YoungBoy's dead friends, trying to even the score. Even though YoungBoy came off more aggressive, his album sold way more, so most people say he won that round. Still, Fredo's not backing down. Both artists are dealing with legal issues right now, so the disses have slowed down, but that hometown rivalry is still alive. If they ever hit the streets at the same time again, it's likely on sight. But Fredo isn't the only rapper YoungBoy's clashed. Another major beef popped off with Kodak Black, and it all started when Kodak accused YoungBoy of being a snitch. Back when Kodak was in prison on federal gun charges, YoungBoy was involved in some wild drama with Floyd Mayweather's daughter, Yaya. Around 1:30 a.m., she showed up at his house and found him with another woman, LaPatra Jacobs. Yaya, who has a child with YoungBoy, told Jacobs to leave, claiming she was his fiancée. A fight broke out, and Yaya allegedly stabbed Jacobs with a kitchen knife. Police were called, and Yaya was charged with felony aggravated assault. Kodak heard about it from inside prison and saw a blog post saying YoungBoy was fully cooperating with authorities. To Kodak, that sounded like snitching, and he commented on the post, "The hell they mean fully cooperated." YoungBoy didn't appreciate the accusation and fired back on Instagram Live, denying the claims and dissing Kodak in the process.
say I cooperated. What, you stupid?
He goes on to show Yaya in the background to prove that he didn't snitch.
My wife? You talking about my wife? Inside my house that I paid for? Now her huh? And now daddy, I ain't never accepted not one thing from her in my life.
Kodak responded to YoungBoy's threats over a jail phone and said that he'll continue to say what he wants until YoungBoy does something about it. Make him do something, boy.
Make you do something, boy. For sure, boy. Yo, I keep cop chasing and your boy still and make you do something, boy. Stop playing me, boy. For real, boy.
This wasn't the first time that Kodak and YoungBoy have had beef. Back in 2017, Kodak threw shots at the rapper on his track Time Never Mattered, where he rapped, "I hope that I don't go broke again, none, killing young babies." Kodak never going broke again, no, you a free agent. Not long after that, video of Quando Rondo, YoungBoy's artist, showed the rapper burning a bunch of Sniper Gang merch.
Man, we on some NBA shit, man. Tell Ethical don't send me this shit no more, man. I'm telling y'all, I'm about to have some real deal. Damn, man, you about to burn my day. Nigga, you burn the bed, cuz.
This prompted a response from Kodak and his crew, who burned a Never Broke Again shirt and threatened the rapper on social media.
What I had to do was, Kodak, can I get a shout out, bro? Could you post my picture? Could you post my music? I would've did.
Then in 2019, things got messier. It was revealed that YoungBoy was dating Kodak's ex-girlfriend, Dej, who had just been caught dropping flirty comments on Kodak's Instagram a week earlier. The timing was wild, and it only added fuel to the fire. Later that same year, after Kodak got locked up on federal gun charges, YoungBoy dropped a track called Letter to Kodak, where he seemed to extend an olive branch. He rapped, "Kodak locked up and I miss him, so I'ma send a kite." The piece didn't last. After Kodak's snitching comments, YoungBoy went back on the offensive. Kodak responded on the track Dirty K from his Haitian Boy Kodak project, rapping, "My lil brother YoungBoy told me he look up to me, I don't know why, but he be feeling like it's fuck me now, out to call him, trying to see what all the fussin'." So, despite the back and forth, it seems like the beef between YoungBoy and Kodak isn't that deep, just two hot-headed artists throwing shots, then cooling off. There's still a chance they patch things up, or at least keep it cordial. But this next feud didn't end with a diss track, it ended in tragedy. King Von. Von was one of the most respected street rappers to come out of the south side of Chicago, a real one with serious credentials. But when two gangstas collide, there's usually only two outcomes: death or prison. Sadly, hip-hop lost one of its brightest rising stars after a fight broke out between Von and YoungBoy's artist, Quando Rondo, outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge in downtown Atlanta. The exact origins of the beef are still unclear, but many believe it started with tension between Von and YoungBoy himself. Not long before the incident, Von had gone on IG Live while listening to a YoungBoy track and questioned his authenticity. In the video, Von was chilling in the car with friends when he said, "You got cap in your raps." That moment may have been the spark that led to one of hip-hop's most shocking losses.
YoungBoy talking about on this song, what? What? Talking crazy on this song. Oh, yeah? He ain't even like that. Oh! On his ass now. On his ass. Cap. You got cap in your rap.
Nothing popped off right away, but it was clear from the beginning Von didn't respect YoungBoy. Things escalated later when Von was spotted hanging out with YoungBoy's baby mama, Jania. Rumors flew that Von and Jania were dating, but Von quickly denied it, saying they were just working on music. Still, the optics alone were enough to stir the pot. That's when Quando Rondo stepped in. Rondo, who's signed to YoungBoy's label and mentored by him, took the situation personally. Known for riding hard for YoungBoy, Quando started throwing shots at Von online, and Von clapped back. Pretty soon, both camps were taking aim on social media. Von tried to downplay it, saying it wasn't real beef unless someone died, and that he wasn't starting drama over a girl. But that internet beef turned deadly fast. On November 6th, 2020, Von and Quando crossed paths outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge. And Von, who always kept the same energy online and in person, swung first, punching Rondo in the face. In that moment, Rondo's homie Lul Tim pulled out a gun and started firing. Von was shot and later died from his injuries. Still, a lot we don't know about what happened that night, but it's hard to ignore the role that Von's beef with YoungBoy and his circle may have played. And it doesn't stop there. YoungBoy's been at war with half the industry. He's also fallen out with past collaborators like Kevin Gates and Moneybagg Yo. Kevin Gates was one of the first big names to co-sign YoungBoy, even appearing on his 2016 mixtape 38 Baby. Gates went so far as to get a tattoo of YoungBoy and publicly said he loved him like family.
How you gonna say, nah, I got a tattoo of him on me because I love him. And you can say what you want to, but just in Louisiana, when we love somebody, we appreciate them while they are.
That didn't stop the two men from going at each other after they had a falling out. While highly intoxicated, Kevin Gates went on IG Live and called YoungBoy a bars and said, "You claiming to be a monster, but I know what you are? You did a video about why you didn't get out the car."
You ain't really living like that. You listen to a bunch of good-ass rap songs. Hey, every that come around us, babe, what they do? They turn into a monster. You need to stop. Hey, at 6 months, hey, they forget how to be a monster. You know why? Gatorade, is it in you or is it on you? So retarded. I don't get no bottom. I know bottom, yeah?
After dissing Moneybagg on Instagram, YoungBoy followed up on Twitter, ranting about gossip, fake shut, and lies, but he never explained what actually went down. Not long after, the tension spilled offline. Their crews started throwing shots at each other on social media until it all exploded in a wild brawl at a mall in LA. In a radio interview after the fight, Moneybagg tried to downplay the situation, saying they were still cool, but the music told a different story. Subliminals and diss tracks kept flying, and behind the scenes, things were still heated. One reason for the tension? Moneybagg Yo's friendship with Fredo Bang. YoungBoy might have seen that as playing both sides, especially with Fredo being one of his biggest hometown rivals. Then came another bombshell. In a recent diss track, YoungBoy claimed he pulled a strap on Moneybagg in the studio and that Moneybagg ran and told Yo Gotti. So now it wasn't just rap beef, it was industry. Politics mixed with real street drama. At this point, you'd think YoungBoy would focus on staying out of jail, not building a longer enemies list. But ironically, the beef, drama, and disses are part of what made him a star in the first place. So even if he ends up behind bars again, don't expect him to change. YoungBoy's chaos is the brand.